What if everything you thought about smartphones, tablets, and laptops was about to be rewritten by a single device? A device that doesn't just fold once, but twice. In late night labs across Seoul and Suwon, Samsung's engineers spent nearly a decade studying the way people switch between screens. They found something surprising. The average professional switches between a phone, tablet, and laptop over 260 times per day. Creators switch even more, and students, nearly 320 screen hops in a single day. But the most shocking revelation was this: most of those transitions weren't intentional. Your workflow is fractured because your devices force you to adapt to them. Samsung's answer became the most radical experiment in mobile engineering. A 3-panel device capable of transforming itself into whatever the moment demands. And that experiment is now real. They call it the Galaxy Z TriFold. Engineers inside Samsung's Device Experience division describe the TriFold Flex architecture as geometry that shouldn't exist. Imagine 3 ultra-thin panels connected by 2 independent hinge systems that move like synchronized mechanical vertebrae. Most foldable devices only bend along one axis, but the TriFold required dual-axis load distribution, something no consumer device had attempted at this scale. Mechanical stress tests at Samsung's Gummy plant revealed an unexpected pattern. Traditional hinges failed because they resisted the fold. The TriFold's hinges do the opposite. They guide it. Each hinge contains micro-spine elements that shift tension outward, preventing stress from building at the fold lines. This design reduced crease pressure by nearly 47%, allowing the device to unfold into a nearly flat 7.9-inch canvas. What's even more surprising is what happens when you close it. The TriFold doesn't collapse symmetrically. It folds like a letter, 2 panels inward, 1 panel outward, distributing thickness and protecting the inner display. Samsung calls this a living form factor because the device behaves differently depending on the mode it enters. For users, it means one thing: the days of choosing between a phone, tablet, or mini laptop ends here. The TriFold becomes whatever shape your hands need. If the hinge is the skeleton, the display is the heart, and the TriFold's display shouldn't be possible on today's materials. Traditional OLEDs cannot survive being bent twice across 2 separate axes, so Samsung Display created a new architecture. A triple-layer OLED composite fused with a pressure diffusion membrane only 57 microns thick. Tests at Samsung's Asan manufacturing line revealed a phenomenon engineers call panel flex fatigue. Each fold weakens alignment in the subpixel layer. The TriFold's membrane disperses that tension the way Japanese bridges distribute earthquake forces, through micro-diffusion patterns that redirect stress before it reaches the OLED. The result? A display that can bend 200,000 times without losing luminance. But the real magic is the moment it opens. The panels disappear. The bezels dissolve. You are left with a single uninterrupted tablet glass canvas. App Lab studies show users switching reading apps into wide immersion mode experience 37% higher comprehension simply because their visual field expands. Artists saw a spike in stroke accuracy during drawing tests because the screen mimics a flat sketchbook instead of a curved phone. And when folded, it feels like a regular smartphone. No bulk, no dead zones, no awkward split interface. Samsung didn't just make a bigger screen, they changed how your eyes interpret digital space. The TriFold isn't powerful because of its hardware, it's powerful because it knows what you're doing. Deep inside One UI's software stack is something Samsung calls the TaskFlow Intelligence Engine, a prediction model trained on tens of thousands of real user workflows. During internal testing, engineers observed a strange pattern. Users open their phones in one shape but end up needing another. Someone starts reading a PDF in phone mode, then opens the browser, then screenshots, then finally switches to a tablet to annotate. All of this took 9 to 12 manual steps. The TaskFlow engine removes the quiet friction that slows most users down. Samsung's behavior testing showed that every resize, drag, or layout adjustment creates micro delays in focus. Over a full workday, these small resets accumulate and break momentum. The TriFold solves this by predicting your next action the moment you unfold it. It reads context, brightness, app patterns, hand position, recent tasks, and reorganizes the workspace with over 90% accuracy. Open a spreadsheet and it expands into a tri-panel layout. Start editing a photo and a side panel becomes a precision tool drawer. Launch a game and GPU resources shift instantly into cinematic mode, creating a near square immersive canvas. The result is simple: fewer decisions, smoother flow, and a device that adapts to you, not the other way around. But the wildest feature is something Samsung calls split intuition. If you drag your thumb across the center of the screen, the TriFold studies your finger speed and gesture pressure to determine whether you intend to open a second app, resize the current app, create a multi-screen grid, or shift into laptop-style dual-pane mode. This makes the TriFold feel less like a gadget and more like a responsive organism that adapts to your intent. Smartphones today are battery slabs with screens glued on top. The TriFold couldn't follow that formula. 3 displays demand power, 2 hinges demand support, and the whole thing must stay thin enough to fit in a pocket. So Samsung's energy research teams built something entirely new: the Power Spine system, a distributed battery architecture that bends. Instead of a single battery, the TriFold uses 3 adaptive power cells connected through flex mesh circuitry that shifts energy depending on how the device is folded. In phone mode, the middle cell becomes dominant, giving users nearly 18 hours of typical usage. In tablet mode, all 3 cells activate to stabilize voltage across the expanded canvas. Engineers faced a bizarre problem during testing. When the device bent, battery output changed microscopically. Over time, this caused micro imbalances that degraded capacity, so Samsung introduced thermal drift equalizers, tiny circuits that rebalance the cells as the device changes shape. The result? A foldable with better battery longevity than many rigid phones. But the real breakthrough is something rarely mentioned: the cooling spine built into the hinge. As the device unfolds, the hinge exposes a microvent layer that enhances heat dispersion by 27%. Gamers noticed it first. Frame rate stayed consistent even during long sessions. It's the first time a smartphone solved cooling through movement, and it's why the TriFold stays powerful in every form. This is the feature that separates the TriFold from every device ever built. Not the hinge, not the display, not the power system or the software. It's the identity. The idea that a device can change shape to match the user's intention. Samsung calls this principle shape-shift identity, and it has roots in user behavior research conducted from 2017 to 2023. Researchers found that people naturally think in 3 digital modes: quick glance, deep focus, and creation flow. But no single device supported all 3 without switching tools. The TriFold is the first device in history designed to live inside all 3 modes. In phone mode, it becomes your quick glance device. In dual panel mode, it becomes your focus device. In full tablet mode, it becomes your creation device. And here's the shocking part. Researchers at Samsung's Digital Cognition Lab discovered that when users switch modes without switching devices, cognitive drain drops by 42%. Your brain stays in flow, your attention stays intact, your creativity doesn't reset. This is the secret behind the TriFold's power, not just engineering, but human psychology. Through shape, it changes the way your brain experiences digital tasks. It's not a phone that becomes a tablet. It's a device that becomes an environment. When combined, these 5 breakthroughs create a device more radical than any smartphone of the last decade. The Galaxy Z TriFold isn't trying to replace your phone, tablet, or laptop. It's trying to fuse them, ending the era of switching, juggling, and context breaking. Users who spent days with the TriFold say the same thing. It feels like the future isn't something you wait for, it's something you unfold. That wraps for today's video. Now I want to ask you something. Which transformation of the Galaxy Z TriFold impressed you the most? And if you had the chance to test this device today, which mode would you try first? Let me know in the comments because your answers help us build better tech breakdowns for the channel. If you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep tech feature. Your support helps us reach more people who love breakthrough innovation. Thank you for watching.